All right, Miss Patty. Now we're just going to go through some casket options. I got all that general information about your mom that I needed to. So let's just go into some casket selections and we'll go from there. If you have any questions, feel free to stop me at any time and we'll go through them together. Before I start showing you a bunch of caskets, let me just ask, are you interested in maybe getting a wood casket or a steel casket? Do you have any preference on that?
I think I'm looking into wood.
A wood casket. Okay. Let me get them pulled up here so you can just see some of our different wood options. I've got most of our wood options on the computer here, and I've got some in a viewing room if you wanted to go in there and actually see some in person. So let me just let you take a look here. We'll just go through some of these caskets. I'll just flip through them real quick. If you have a question about one of these, you just let me know. Okay, so we got here, here's one of our mahoganies. This is about our top line casket that we offer.
So why are the mahoganies more expensive than the pine caskets?
The mahogany's actually a hardwood casket, whereas your pines is a softwood. Hardwoods are usually just typically more expensive. They're just kind of one of the more expensive woods out there. So that's your difference between those right there. And there's another one, the pine ones that you can see.
So do the wood caskets seal?
They just shut on the lid. They don't get like a complete seal like you would see with a gasketed metal, for example. Most of your metals, like your 18 gauges, on the description of the casket, it'll say gasketed. That gasketed just means that it actually completely gets an airtight seal. Most of your 20 gauge caskets, they don't have that option, and neither do your wood caskets. So if you were looking at something that gets a complete seal, I would recommend the 18 gauge steel. However, that being said, I know that the cemetery we're looking at going, they do require vaults. And all of the vaults that we offer here, they do all give a complete airtight seal. So that's something to keep in mind. You don't have to get a casket that gets a complete seal. So you will still have something that protects the casket, that protects it from the air and water or anything else you might be concerned about.
So would a wood casket fit in a standard size vault, or would I have to get a special one?
No, it'll fit. The only time it doesn't fit would be with an oversized casket, and that's not something that we're really concerned with. Your mom was a fit lady, and I'm sure she'll fit just fine in the wood casket that we select. So we'll be just fine with that. But there's another pine. There's a veneer casket right there.
What is a veneer casket?
A veneer casket just means it's made out of pressed wood. It's kind of like MDF board with a printout along the sides that make it look like natural wood. It's not completely hardwood or softwood. It's just like a mix of just MDF board. So it's not a true hardwood casket all the way through.
So it would be a little bit cheaper than.
Yeah, all of our veneers are a lot cheaper than our softer hardwoods. We've got some that can compare in the price, but the veneers are our bottom line for the wood. So if you're wanting something with a wood look, we can't really jump into that affordability. That's something you can look into. But that's our last option right there. Did you see any that you wanted to go with? Anything that looked good to you?
I think the pine one.
The pine one?
Pines, yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you what, I'll just write down here that you were interested in the pines. I've got a couple pines in our selection room. You can just go check it out, make sure it's what you want, before we actually go with that one completely. So really, other than just that casket, we'll just need to select a vault. Like I said, that cemetery we're going to, they do require vaults there. Our vaults that we offer here, we offer concrete and steel. You're not going to have any issue with fitting that wood casket in either of those. Your concrete ones, those vaults are quite a bit cheaper than our steel ones. And they are lined, which means that they have like a plastic lining on the inside. And that lining does give it a complete seal. So we do offer an unlined concrete. Now that won't give it a complete seal. So if any water damage or anything like that happens to the vault, it will affect the casket. So if I was going to recommend you anything, I'd either say let's get one of these lined concretes or get a steel vault. So, is there either of those that you have a preference on, or do you want to look at the pricing of those?
I think maybe the steel.
The steel? Okay. And the steel, just your standard one's a 12 gauge. This is what it looks like. This bottom line right here is a powder coat finish, which means that it's just painted on the top with a powder coat paint. We've got some also that go up in price. You've got an aluminum vault that you can select. Your aluminum's been proven to be about 2 or 3 times as strong as the steel. So for durability, those are the ones that you typically go with. And then from there, you start getting into some crazy prices with like bronzes and stuff like that. But we've got different colors in that standard 12 gauge vault. And here's some different colors. And here's a brown one that would match, the wood that we go with on that pile. And if you just want to go with that brown one, or if you wanted like something blue, we got that. We've got a pink one, silver. Any of these look good to you?
I think the brown one.
I think that would be good. We'll go with that brown one. Let's do that brown 12 gauge vault. Okay. And if you just want to come with me real quick, we'll go take a look at these pond caskets. I've also got a veneer just so you can see what I'm talking about not being a complete full wood. That way, if you just want to go with it, just gives you a couple more options. Okay, so let's go take a look at those and we'll be good to go.